Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. So today I will be doing a movie review regarding Ghibli Studio film animation, which is Howl's Moving Castle. So I got the picture, the poster. Okay, this handsome guy is Howl, and this is Sophie. They are the two main characters. And then this is Howl's Moving Castle. Okay, so I will be reviewing this movie alongside with psychology theory. To anyone that had never, yes, Howl's Moving Castle. Okay, to anyone that had never heard about the film before, it is about a girl, an 18-year-old girl named Sophie. She is somehow cursed by a witch to be turned into an old lady. Her appearance changed 180 degrees. She now has a hunchback, okay, wrinkled skin, and silver hair. Okay, along her journey, she somehow stumbled upon Howl's Moving Castle. Okay, in there she met Howl and his fire demon named Calcifer. So Howl is actually a magician, and then the fire demon Calcifer found out about Sophie's curse, and Calcifer proposed a deal with Sophie that said if Sophie managed to break the contract which bind Howl and Calcifer, Calcifer will then release Sophie from the witch curse. Okay, and Sophie agreed to it. The story also has elements of love and romance. The setting is more during wartime and has magic and fantasy adventure. So the psychology theory that I will be using to review this movie is actually a humanistic psychology theory. To be specific, Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. Okay, so this is Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. There are 5 needs in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the lower the needs in the hierarchy, the more similar the needs is to that of an animal. Okay, but if you go higher up the hierarchy, the more they are distinctly human. Okay, so in order to fulfill the hierarchy needs, one must start from the lowest one. If the lowest one is fulfilled, only then we can go to the next higher level of need. Okay, so in this film, I think that it actually explain well about Maslow hierarchy of need, because if we look at the physiological needs, which is at the lowest of the hierarchy, physiological need is like needs for hunger, thirst, and also sex. I think it is fully satisfied at the beginning of the movie, because yeah, they aren't poor people, they have food, they can drink water. So yeah, there is not much to explain about that. And then about the safety needs, I think that's also satisfied at the beginning of the film, because as we can see, Sophie encountered Howl's Moving Castle at the beginning of the movie. And so even though at that time Sophie is already being cursed, she found protection in Howl's Moving Castle, because safety needs is when you found protection, you're able to avoid pain and unexpected danger. So in Howl's Castle, it is relatively safe. Okay, and then we also know that Howl is a strong magician. Yeah, so she's more protected from unexpected danger there. And then I want to talk more about the needs of love and belonging. Love and belonging, esteem, and also self-actualization. I think that for the love and belonging needs, the journey to satisfy this in the film is probably the longest one. Because Sophie is not actually someone that feels as if she deserves to be loved. Even within her family, she felt like an outsider, like she is not appreciated enough. And Howl is someone that do not seek love. Yes. So throughout the film though, Sophie felt love and learned to love. We have a side character named Markle in the movie. He is Howl's apprentice and he also lives in the moving castle. He is probably the most friendly to Sophie at the start of the film. So Sophie somehow opened up earliest and most to him, and Sophie take the role of looking after Markle because Markle is like a kid. Yes. Okay. And then progressively, Sophie also learned to love Howl. Yes. Because living in the castle, Sophie then learned about Howell's vulnerable side, and then she started to feel love or attraction, or at least care for Howell. And then, if we're talking about Howell, whether he satisfied the love and belonging needs, I think that he also satisfied this need because he learned to care more about people progressively throughout the film. At first, it would look as if Howell is someone that is closed off, but thanks to Sophie's effort, I think Howell opened up and started to care more about the people surrounding him. And so, after this love and belonging need is fulfilled, we have the next highest need, which is esteem. For this esteem, it is when we feel as if we need to make contribution of achievement towards someone or something. So in this, I think that it is contribution in a relationship because Howard and Sophie somehow has this progressive relationship that started from stranger to friends and eventually to lovers. Okay, so we can see Sophie's effort, especially when she went to meet Madame Solomon. Okay, Madame Solomon is a character in this film who is a court-appointed sorceress and also the mastermind behind the king. As we know, the setting of this film is during wartime, so Howard is somehow appointed by her to involve with the war. Okay, so at one point during this film, Sophie found out that the war actually heavily influenced Howell's attitude negatively. Okay, so Sophie did not want Howell to suffer. So Sophie went to the castle. Yes, she was so intimidating. I hate her too. Okay. Okay, so she went to the castle and met Madam Solomon. She tried to propose a deal with the Madam Solomon, but somehow it went negatively. But there we can see her effort because yes, actually Madam Solomon is like an intimidating figure because she's like the highest, strongest sorcerer. Okay, so we can see the effort when Sophie had never stepped foot into the castle. Okay, she braved herself for Howell's sake. Okay, and for Howell, esteem need it is probably fulfilled when Howell also somehow saved Sophie, but it's not more like Sophie is someone that has low self-esteem. Okay, she don't think herself as pretty, even though actually she is. Okay, so Howell somehow saved her by complimenting her. Okay, by saying that she is pretty as she is. Doesn't matter whether she is young or old. Okay, so I think that is like Howell's effort. And then for the last stage of need is self-actualization. So for the self-actualization, this is when you are becoming everything that you are capable of, like being the best version of yourself. So this is actually you can see it towards the end of the film. Okay, when finally Howell started to, you know how he always wear a coat, a fancy colorful coat, and then but starting towards the end of the film, Howell had never wear that coat again. Okay, it's like he stopped hiding himself. Okay, and also his dyed hair. Before he had blonde dyed hair, and then towards the end of the film, it's more like a dark hair color. Okay, so that shows how he accepts himself, because at one point there's a scene where there's something wrong with his dye. Okay, so the color of his hair doesn't turn out as he want to, and he had like a breakdown, like a bad breakdown if you watch the film. So it is like a huge step if for Howl that he accept his appearance. And then for Sophie, we can see her self-actualization need is fulfilled when she able to accept herself as she is and manage to break her own curse. Yes, on her very own. Okay, and also she managed to break Howell's curse. So I think this film is actually a good example to talk about Maslow hierarchy of needs due to these reasons. But he looks so much better with black hair. Yes. How blonde hair suits him, but yes, black hair is superior. Okay, so I guess that's all. Hope you enjoyed the movie review by me, and I am happy to share with you a little bit about psychology. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much, everyone. Assalamualaikum.